Game number 1, Masters Clash, best of 2. And we got the MC Academy against Team Oxygen. And as already promised in one of the previous series, they're now playing under the name Oxygen Esports. The Hardos, that is. Because if you're taking a look at who's playing for the blue team, that should be pretty self-evident. So, yeah, we have the Hardos playing for Team Oxygen now. Again, for the Masters Clash, it's also a thing for the CCL season and so on and so forth. Personally, what I already hate about it is that they actually changed their nicknames, or at least a few of them did. I ranted about that just last week, and I still absolutely hate it, because once that the seasons are over, they're going to go to another org or something else, and then we're going to have the same kuddle-muddle again that we had before. I don't even think that word exists in English. I don't know a word that would really describe that. Sometimes German is a fantastic language. So yeah, it's a total kuddle-muddle. But yeah, so we got a ban on Junkrat and on Hogger. Dragonshire is our first map. It is a best of 2, as mentioned before, so it's all about you trying to just like see, hey, can I get 3 points by winning the series with a 2-0? Do I share points with my opponent because both of us won one of the maps? Or whatever. Yeah, so there's that. But either way, we got also a bit of bad news. Honestly, I'm still not quite sure what's going on there, because I got 2 conflicting pieces of information. So I was told that one of the reasons why Nagrom is not playing today for the MC Academy is that he is taking a half-year break from Heroes of the Storm because of work. Not sure what exactly that means. Sounds like he might have, you know, like an internship or whatever, and has to focus on that for half a year and then maybe comes back. But then shortly afterwards, Dequaza actually started to talk a little bit about, he's like, well, he might come back, it's not going well. And I'm like, well, of course he's going to come back in half a year, right? But then he's just like, no, tomorrow, and it's not going well. And then he just stopped talking, and when I called him out for it, he's like, I'm in the game right now. Well, you were in a game 2 seconds ago, motherfucker, and you still dropped that bomb on us. So what does that mean? Is the internship not going well? Did he get fired from a job that he just got? Is that old news? If it is, why is he not here today? Dequaza prioritizing his Heroes of the Storm League over the feelings and the mental sanity of the viewers of the stream. I don't think that's okay. I actually don't think that's fine. So yeah, calling Dequaza out here. Not cool, bro. Not cool. But yeah, just to tell you, I might have some info on Nagrom later, because apparently Dequaza has the inside scoop here. Now, we got Lunara in for Hazu. We got Rega. And Dragonshire with Dehaka and Karazim. So right off the bat, the interesting part is that we don't have Rexa yet. But with the ban on Blaze, there's pretty much 3 choices that you have. You can either go Rexa, you can go Leoric, or you can go for Urel. Those are your choices. But yeah, Anubarak gets banned since we have a big engage there with Karazim. You go in with the Anubarak stun, Karazim follows up. And then bam, you get the 7-sided strike in. But, well, let's see. Really? No fun. No fun allowed here. I was waiting for a little bit of Rexa action, Rexa and Misha, but they didn't make it through. Nope, the last ban hits them and hits them hard. So, that leaves you with Urel, if you want to. Could still Leo it out. Ah, wait, no, he's banned too. I was just about to say, he could also go for Hogger. Hogger is the one that I always forget, so I'm kind of proud lately that I actually remember that he exists in the draft. But there we go. We got Urel. And we have a Muradin. Good shit. Urel and Muradin. I mean, Urel, as predicted. Muradin for Benny. Also a good hero pick for this map, by the way. Still need a main tank for the other side, but they're still playing around. They targeted the side lane very aggressively because of the top lane here in Dragonshire, but we still got pretty much all of the frontliners ready. Could go Dibbles, ETC in this case. We got Sylvanas together with that. Alright, so ETC and Dehaka. And the final pick for map number 1. It's actually kind of nice that Dragonshire is actually being played, and it is the first map too. Look at that, it's hammer time! Alright, the Gave, the German, the Panzer? That never goes well. That never... If history taught us one thing, that is, you need to avoid that at all costs. Don't give the German the tank, any tanks. It's not going to end well. So yeah, it's hammer time. Nick apparently going for it. Dragonshire, map number 1, everybody. Oxygen Esports against the MC Academy. Game number 1. Dragonshire is the map. We got Hazu on Lunara, Bad Benny on Muradin, Nick on Sergeant Hammer, Rutsu is playing Rega, And Urel is apparently 19. Okay. Good for you. Legal. On the right side of the map, the MC Academy with Virus on Dehaka. We got Cookie on Sylvanas, Lolom on Hanzo. Camembert is playing ETC, and Warren is playing Karazim. Alright, so it's hammer time once again. Right now we got the advanced artillery on level 1. And yeah, no shock. Well, maybe for Camembert. Bit surprising that he didn't go for the thingy, the echo pedal. But then again, you're going up against hammer, so it's all about the auto attacks. With Lunara, it's pretty much the same deal. So yeah, trying to go for the block instead. Down to the bottom of the map now. We got Nick still idling around here. Level 7 is going to be his biggest friend because of the mobility that hammer gains after that. The hammer protection racket over here. Urel is actually great for this. If you're having teamfights later on, you want to protect hammer. Urel is amazing for that shit. But yeah, so as it stands, the favorite in the series is obviously Oxygen Esports. Yep, and off we go. Pretty smart move, by the way, by Oxygen to pick up a European team. That increases your win rate dramatically, right there. Even when they play cross server at some point. So yeah, for the Hardos, they're gonna play under their flag now. And I was actually looking at a potential invade, but no. So we got Siege Giant camps just simply evened out between them. A little bit of damage over here towards the first tower. Camembert can always move in and just like push them back out. So yeah, it's a cooldown play at the end of the day, trying to get them away from the structures as much as you can. Once level 7 is in, it becomes a bit harder. But yeah, Camembert comes in, pushes hammer back. So that tower is gonna fall eventually. But either way, we have up towards the top. Urel taking control for now. Bumblebee skin over here. Yeah, and down at the bottom of the map, are we gonna get the first kill? No, Lolom gets away. But they have already double control on the camp. I don't think they can go for a Dragonite anytime soon, but it forces somebody to sit in the mid lane and defend. Now they got the level 7. Good Stormbolt connect from Benny. Still a little bit far out here, so they should probably take the gate or the small wall out just to be on the safe side. But they can take this easily down, so the entire wall is destroyed. There's some counter pressure at the top as the red team is trying to do the same thing. They also got a camp advantage that they can now use. So good news for them. But I guess at the end of the day we're looking at a trade in structures, which always speeds the game up a bit. So I personally like when that happens, when teams just decide that they're going to push on opposite lanes, taking some structures down, because it makes the game a little bit faster. Hanzo dying is another big lead for Oxygen Esports. So, yeah. And all the way towards the top, as long as Hanzo can survive here, they are gonna be fine. Has to be very careful, of course, once that anybody makes... Hello, what? Urel gets a kill on Sylvanas and team. Somebody hinted a little bit there, so 2 kills to 0. Hammer is still dealing with the bottom fort. They already did damage in the middle, and now they're taking the bot fort down, saving their own. This is obviously going to be taken apart eventually, but for now at least there's no catapult pressure. That gives them a bit of an edge on lane pushing. And the level 7 talent, as I mentioned, is going to be pretty big. They even have a chance for the turn-in, and they're gonna get this one. I mean, not in the first... Oh, well, actually... Yeah, they're gonna get it. Dragonite number 1. First interrupt was solid, but there was nobody to follow up on it, and ETC didn't have the time to take control over the bot shrine, since Muradin jumped in and helped out. Interesting, by the way, that we're now also getting the regenerative biosteel here. Okay, so we're gonna get some heals instead of the unstoppable frames for him. Don't really have a problem with that either, if you think about it. There's not really that big of an engage against him. As long as Rhaegar keeps his ancestral healing in play, they're going to be fine. So, either way, now that we have our little push towards the top lane going, the problem, of course, for the MC Academy is how do you deal with Sergeant Hammer? How do you siege into that? Muradin is pushing at the bottom of the map and is also helping the Dragonite out a bit. Camembert is already in trouble, and they are pushing easily on 2 lanes now, since the Dragonite can just continuously use his Dragon's Breath, does it here again, pushes the minion wave in, can now follow up towards the top. Urel going down is a bit annoying though, but that's really the jump that they had here. There was no support, so that worked for them. But Nick can still do damage and does exactly that. Going up against Hammer is just super annoying. And of course, Nick can create a little bit of space, has at the end of the day to make sure that nobody's getting too close to him. Keep in mind, he chose a different level 4 talent than what you would normally go for. So that gives him maybe the sustain in the long run, but against coordinated attacks, it makes your life a bit more difficult. So you got to be careful there when you're alone. If you have the rest of the team helping you out, then it's not a big deal. Especially with Urel being there too and with Rhaegar. But outside of that, you got to be careful. Things are looking good though for Oxygen Esports. I mean, the Hardos, they already took one fort down. They did damage to the one in the middle of the map. Opened the top lane up too. So that's good for him. But yep, with that we got now level 10 abilities and get Napalm. No BFG in this case. And they can just simply push the bot lane now out and maybe even siege up there, considering that they got Hammer. If everybody else moves in with level 10, you should be able to do some solid damage. Now, first of all, they got for wave clear also the Thornwood Vines, and they got Napalm Strike. So if you are pushing now with a double camp plus level 10 advantage, I mean, that is going to net you quite a lot of structure kills. So they should be able to take the entire wall down, and I think the keep is going to suffer some damage too. Most likely not completely annihilated, but still. I mean, maybe they can get even more. There's level 10, 7-sided strike. They gotta watch that Hanzo arrow, so that could become a problem. And of course also the mosh pit of ETC. But that keep is eating dirt. There's the arrow, nice. This is already out, so good for them. And this keep is down to 50% HP. Guys, we're 6.5 minutes into the game. 6.5 minutes into the game, and the MC Academy has lost more than 50% of their hit points of keep number 1. That's a bit of a disaster. Oh, come on there! They can't get the kill! They cannot get the kill, but ETC still has to get the hell out of there. And once he's gone, they should be able to finish what they started here. It's a bit of a risky business that he's employing there too, but he still is able to get away. Do they have enough time to get the keep though? Nick is trying. I mean, it's insanely low. If Hazu gets his ult back, just a bit of Thornwood Vine damage should be enough, and that's exactly what he's using here. But it's not gone. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, boys, but that wasn't enough. Somebody should just YOLO in for it. I don't really care who, but at that point, you just want someone to go deep. But they baited them out, and now they're just turning it. Mosh pit, yep, there's a bit of a party. And they're making sure that the doggy doesn't get the heals through on Muradin, but still, they're jumping once again on Cookie and the rest of them, as everybody on the red team is incredibly low, and that's just a guarantee for some kills. If you can make the connect. They can't, but at least they can take the keep down. So that's a 7.5 minute keep that they just locked in. Great job by Oxygen Esports. And yeah, not too bad. It's a little bit of an annoying... I want to say, Hammer is always annoying to go up against. It's insanely annoying. You're always just sitting there, your opponent plays Protect the Hammer, and if you don't have a chance to insta-blow him up, then you're in trouble. The Ancestral is preventing that. You got the Cleanse, of course, as well. Same time now. They have some opportunities. If you get a good arrow through and then ETC comes in together with Karazim, there's some on-point damage that you can execute. By the way, that's a dead Dehaka. No chance for him. Yeah, he is not going to be able to get away from this one. Goodbye. Dinosaur gets dropped. Level 13 now. So another talent advantage for them. And they have control over the camp, can claim that out. And have now a very easy chance to also go for the fort in the middle. I mean, that can't be safe. That's not happening. Damage output, by the way. 32,000 for Sergeant Hammer. Nick, that mechanical beast, you know, like all those auto attacks. He's hitting them all. Those right clicks. Executing them time and time again. Yeah, 7-sided strike. Everybody's caught there. That's exactly the engagement we talked about. And this time it's successful. They dropped the hammer. The Sergeant is down, and now they hope to get Benny too, and they might be able to lock him in. That's a stun into a stun. Goodbye, my friend. Muradin is dead, and they are looking for a third kill, but Hazu, Ops, and Urel are both able to escape. There's a bit of work being done by the camp top side together with that wave. But of course, the damage has more or less already been done earlier. And we have now 2 catapults and siege giants, and now they got the Dragonite, but somebody still got to deal with this. I mean, don't know how to tell you this, but this is going to do some structural damage if nobody deals with it. And yeah, Sylvanas is there. So yeah, the core is not going to take any damage. It's too early in the game. It's before the 10-minute mark, but just imagine that hitting you late game. then you can kiss that shield goodbye within seconds, and you are gonna take damage on the core. So either way, we now got the first Dragon Knight for the MC Academy, so they are really capitalizing on the kills that they get. They take Hammer down once, take map control, claim the objective, and can now start to push a bit. Work around the Dragon's Breath, set up a two-pronged attack, which is more or less what they're doing right now. But then again, don't forget that on level 16 we're gonna get the extra damage for Hammer. Sylvanas is in trouble here, and the cookie crumbles! Cookie is down, 7-sided, but another Storm Bolt, and that is another kill. Yep, looks like the Haka might fall too. Oh boy. Yeah, they're losing way too much ground here. That's 2 down, and I guess they can kiss the Haka goodbye too. So that's the third one. They can't go core. You can't. You just can't. Maybe you can. I mean, they're going for it. There's level 16, so now they got the talent advantage. Sergeant going for the mechanical know-how here. That was not quite expected. Okay. Attack damage increase, and Nick again with one of his wild builds, heavily successful here, comes in. They have the core down to 30%. Sylvanas dies, and that is the end of the hopes and dreams of the MC Academy to start a comeback on Dragonshire. Map number 1 goes to the Hardos, aka Oxygen Esports, as they claim victory on the first map of the best of two series here at the Master/Playday number 3.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Infernal Shrines, baby! Yeah, 11-minute victory for Oxygen Esports. They went hard on game number 1, for sure. So, let's go. Let's see what we're getting this time. The big question is, of course, do you ban Hammer? Honestly, I personally expected that they wouldn't go for Hammer ban, but then again, I didn't really think they would also pick Infernal Shrines. This is another map where Hammer is pretty good. And it's not like the blue team played Hammer now for the first time. Now, Hammer has disappeared for a long time, but this team, with Hazu, with Nick, they played a lot of Hammer last year. So there's definitely a very good chance that they're going to lock the Sergeant in again if they get an opportunity. Infernal is another good map. You can position yourself outside of the Shrine very easily. Makes it difficult for the opponent to reach you. So there's a good shot that we're going to get a ban. Now, they took their sweet time, but they ban Hanzo out. So he's the first one. Junkrat gets also eliminated. Outside poke on Infernal Shrines is obviously always good. Other heroes that are always great here, Blaze, Leo on the side lane, get a lot of them. Damage dealers is honestly what I'm interested in the most. I've seen quite a bit of Vala now too. But yeah. I would like myself a Vala game, but I don't really think that we're gonna see her here. And Ubarak, they don't like him. So they already banned some of the dive heroes out. Immediately alarm bells are ringing. Ban the Hammer or not ban the Hammer? What's the conclusion here? Yeah, they ban Hogger first, okay. 19 is, by the way, Copenhagen. For the people that were wondering, he's playing the side lane today, subbing in here. And playing Blaze for them. Okay. So we got Blaze as a first pick. I mean, again, he's great. Bunker, all the AoE. It's all that you need here. So good for them. It would be kind of funny though if Sergeant Hammer gets picked again and they lose against it once again. It's always a little bit weird. You see like a hero being picked and all of a sudden a team dominates with them, you immediately jump to the conclusion they should ban it out. But especially against a team like the Hardos or now Oxygen Esports, you are in a spot where there's a lot of heroes that you want to ban. I mean, think for example if they ban on the 3rd position now, they ban out Sergeant Hammer. And then Nick picks his Carrigan. You're going to have the exact same comments everywhere again where people are like, oh my god, of course he's going to pick Carrigan. Why don't they ban her? Well, because they can't ban all of them. But there's Hammer once more. They pick it early this time, by the way, before the 3rd ban, because they definitely want to lock it in. And this is now a really annoying situation. Because now you got Sergeant Hammer against you, and you got Anduin. So, yeah, that little shitter can just pull Hammer out whenever there's an attack. Anduin great against Leoric, we went over this multiple times. And then you got the Sergeant, so whenever Hammer is in trouble, you can also pull her out here too. So that's already super annoying. Blaze for slows, I mean, yeah. this is an annoying spot to be in for the MC Academy. But again, either way, like, you are gonna look at an annoying composition. If Nick is playing Hammer, or if he's playing Kerrigan or Ismaev or whatnot, I mean, you're always gonna sit there and be like, why didn't they ban this? Well, you have 3 bans and that's it. And that's probably the real reason why we don't get any new heroes in Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard decided that if they add new heroes, they need more bans, and there's nobody left on the development side that could include a 4th ban in the draft. So they're like, alright, no heroes it is. It just doesn't work, guys. It just doesn't work. We don't have enough bans. It's the only way I can deal with it. We don't release new heroes. So... by the way, I could totally believe it. Blizzard logic at work. Johanna for Camembert, and we get Brightwing. So we got a polymorph at least. Yeah, and Jojo. I mean, honestly, you can play it both with either the Blessed Shield for stun, or you can just go into the jump. Get the Falling Sword out there. What is Benny now gonna pick? Jaina! Look at that. Jaina and, well, Tyrael. More protect the hammer. You got a bunker, you got a sanctification, you got Jaina for even more slows, even more control. She doesn't even have to go into full out damage, but obviously that works too. Yeah. And the last pick. What are we getting? What's the cookie going for? Yeah, they need some damage, and it would be good if they have anything that can reach Sergeant Hammer. Chromie, for example. Yeah, she definitely is going to be able to reach him. Okay, so Chromie against the Sergeant, that's going to be the play. Yeah, and that leads us to game number 2 in the best of 2 series. So guys, let's see if Oxygen Esports can lock in a 2W and get 3 points, or if the MC Academy can fight back here on Infernal Shrines and put a point onto the scoreboard. Game number 2. Jaina is back, everybody. Hazorps is playing Jaina. We got Nick on Sergeant Hammer, Rutsu on Anduin. Copenhagen 19 is playing Blaze, and Bad Benny on Tyrael. Over on the right side of the map, Vedders is playing Leoric. We got Camembert on Johanna, Lolom on Tychus, Cookie on Chromie, and Warren is playing Brightwing. I mean, is anybody else looking at this and immediately just thinks Bud Spencer and Terence Hill? Lom, 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 lom. Not quite, but still. I mean, yeah. Either way, it's a bit of a flashback, sorry. Boomer detected. You kids are all too young for this shit. But yeah. Anyways, let's go. Hammer time. Now, this time he's up against Chromie, so that's going to be the real play. Can Chromie burn the hammer down? That's the bigger question. That's the one thing that we really have to pay attention to. Already they're targeting Nick right from the get-go. In the last game they left him alone initially, but right now whenever he just shows up, they're immediately going for him. And I like it, because you gotta shut him down early, right? Gotta do your thing here. Now, still, you got topside Pleb Horse for Copenhagen. Pleb Skin as well. Smurf account detected. Oh, big miss. Everybody just moved left and right, and he completely zoned it there. Well, level 4 talents are in. That gives us the time troubles immediately. And party goes on. So, is he adjusting his level 4? That's already going to be an interesting question. By the way, that is the mount. Did you see the mount for Camembert, the mechanical spider? That's the mount that we faked out everybody back in the days when you could get that. I think you got that for like some Facebook promotion or something that they did with heroes. But that's the mount where we were just fucking with everybody and telling them there's a secret mount in Tomb of the Spider Queen. And people then try to get 100 gems. Those were the good old days. It's a pretty bad mount though. I actually don't know why Camembert is like using it. I thought always that it was pretty meh. But then again, I was always writing the money pick, so there's that. Anyways, we got the camps taken. This time we have a 2-1 camp lead for the MC Academy, so they take a slight advantage initially. Moment of truth here for Nick. Is he going to stick it out with his build? Knowing Nick, the answer is probably going to be yes. Once Nick has a build that is away from the stand, that he sticks with it, whether it makes sense or not. Yeah, comes into the regenerative biosteel here again. Honestly, don't know how much that's worth it against someone like Chromie. If he's really going to be able to recover a significant amount of his HP through that talent or not. I mean, there's not too many stuns against him on the other hand, so I guess it's not really a waste of talent. I kind of like that he experiments with some talents that are not absolutely mainstream. Sometimes it works out for him, sometimes it's just like a weird build that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But honestly, in this case, I don't mind. There's maybe a Blessed Shield on the other side for Jojo. There's a couple of slows, of course, involved too. But generally speaking, if he gives him a bit of sustain, fair enough. But Chromie's damage is something that he has to deal with one way or another. And that's going to be bursty damage and not just like long ones. So yeah, that's that. But yeah. If Jojo uses, of course, her Blessed Shield, then yeah, that's a little bit different. But you got Anduin. We went over this during the draft. There's a lot of tools that you can use. It seems like they're giving up the first one. That's something that you see a lot when a team plays Sergeant Hammer, that unless they feel absolutely confident in their composition, that they will let the first objective slide just because they can't get the hammer value. So they're just saying, okay, screw it. Just use the time somewhere else, push down a lane, for example, and then do your thing. Yeah, Nick is running into exactly that problem. It's one of the reasons why oftentimes when you're trying to play Sergeant Hammer, or where Hammer is more of a regular in the meta, you will see Chromie bans. And then when Chromie gets banned, then you already have a bit of an idea what could happen on the other side. So if Sergeant Hammer gets played more often by the blue team, then they will eventually have to resort to Chromie bans in order to facilitate that particular pick. Or people are just going to pick Chromie into it and try and make Nick's life a lot harder. Doesn't mean you can't win. Again, this is not a game where you have a lot of rock, paper, scissors style. That's one of the biggest mistakes, by the way, that Plastic League players or Wood League players make. They just play, they try to play too many heroes, and they think they can win the game in the draft all the time and get easy points. And it backfires 80% of the time. So, yeah. Biggest advice to anybody that doesn't have an insane amount of time to play Heroes of the Storm, wants to get better and climb, is stop playing 50 heroes. Just focus on 3 to 4 and really make sure that you know how to play those well. And stop trying to win games in draft all the time. You can lose a game in draft, but yeah, you shouldn't look for these like sneaky picks that win you the game there. But Chromie is of course a solid choice against Sergeant Hammer. So if you have a good Chromie player, then that's definitely an option. But that doesn't guarantee you the win either. Now they got 2 kills to the top lane play, and it seems like Leo might die too. Yeah, he's going to... Don't tell me, really? Nah, he should fall here. They got enough damage for sure. So they take him down, and that's the 3rd kill. That alone already gives you experience. So that's that. Down to the bottom of the map. Sergeant has now started doing work, especially of course with the Hover Siege mode over here. So good for him. Able to take the wall down. And they're really applying pressure. So this is one of the big problems, that slowly but steadily there's enormous pressure being applied on multiple lanes against you. And if you're not doing good on, if you're not doing a good job on any of these lanes, then yeah, you are just falling farther and farther behind slowly and steadily. So you gotta somehow break free. That can be by you locking in the objective, maybe you're gacking up on Hammer at some point and taking down. So yeah, stuff like that. But either way, now that we have level 10 abilities, it is indeed the Blessed Shield. So we get the Slowing Sands and the Blessed Shield here, both already designed to deal with Hammer a bit better. Jaina went for the Water Elemental. And yep, they are going for Tyrael, and that's a kill. First one that they could log in here. Bad Benny turns to Dead Benny. Okay. We get a Bikini Tychus, but where is our Bikini Jaina? Why don't we get a Bikini Jaina? I mean, she is definitely like someone that likes water games, right? She has a water elemental. Can you imagine how cool that would look if you go like for Bikini Jaina and then you have like some kind of bikini water playground skill for the water elemental? That would be kind of funny. I mean, Snow Jaina has the snowman, so that's already awesome. But there's definitely something that you could do with that too. Either way, 3 kills to 1. Anduin sitting in the middle, hiding. Rutsu. Yeah, they have to, of course, also swap roles a little bit. As already mentioned before, Yasu isn't here today. So he's not with the team. Not quite sure why he can't play, but Copenhagen is subbing in for him. And, well, off we go. Middle of the map, that's the objective they're going to fight for this time, because, well, now Sergeant Hammer has his talents, and they got level 10 too. They also have the napalm, which helps in that situation for sure. Yeah, and Nick gets attacked immediately. This is exactly the play that we're going to see now time and time again. Cookie just trying to zone our Hammer as much as possible. And they're applying the pressure here. Anduin does his job, pulls him out of the Entomb, exactly as expected, as highlighted during the draft. 3 kills to 1, 20 to 16 stacks. They're trying to make the play for Tychus now. And Tyr is also with them at the front here. And so far, we have not seen the Sanctification yet even. Vitters goes down, that's the first kill. They might even get more here. Yeah, there's still Benny. Yeah, uses the Sanctification to save his own ass. Rest of the team is helping to zone him out a bit. But yeah, that's of course buying a lot of time for the remaining damage dealers, and that gives you the objective. So after level 10 is in, after level 7 is in for Sergeant Hammer, they easily take the first objective. And now they push the top lane with the camp that they've taken previously. They have Hammer sieging up here in the middle. And with a Frozen Punisher to boot, that's an easy way to take some of the structures down. And especially top side, they're doing work. That fort is likely going to fall, especially since they're also relying on a talent advantage right now. So gonna get that too. And in the middle, not too much damage, but again, they open the wall up. So it's another lead for them right there. Alright, good stuff. But, yeah, either way. Okay, what do we get there? Down to the bottom of the map. I mean, all the walls are opened up, so all of the forts are exposed, which means that if they get Nick into a good position, he can get the damage connected. And, well, they already have 27,000 on Sergeant Hammer, not even talking about the siege damage here, which is obviously pretty high too. Especially with Napalm as your level 10 choice. I mean, you're clearly looking at additional wave clear, which is great for the Shrine fights as well. Yeah, they go for Nick once again, but they can't get the hits in. Camp gets reset, but Camo Bear's in trouble, and he's dead. Johanna is down, and, well, that is another fort that they are taking. They zone them out fully. There's no tank anymore for the MC Academy. Cookie is also running out of mana on his Chromie, so that's another fort destroyed, and the pressure continues. The outer ring of defense is slowly and steadily falling. Jaina's going for the camp. She's great, of course, on camps. She has the AoE and the camp clear pressure that they need, and Hazo is using that, just taking one after another. Doesn't even need a whole lot of resistance there. Can just rotate from one camp up to the next, which is exactly what he's doing here, and as you can see, it's an insane camp clear speed from Jaina. So 2 camps locked in within seconds. Good point there. And now the next objective is spawning topside, but they're controlling all of the lanes now. And they are also increasing the lead in experience, which now leads to level 16. So, yep, that is a big talent advantage for, I guess not necessarily for the next objective. There's still some time left for the red team to lock in their own 16, but it still makes matters pretty bad for the MC Academy. And 2 missing, unfortunately, for them as well. Because on top of all of this, we now have the double pull. So, yeah, that is... Anduin is just insane. That level 16 is just crazy. It really is. We get the mechanical know-how once again. So, yeah, can play around that. Gives you a little bit burst, of course, there too, that you can easily use. You get the shield and also the damage output. And they're using that to take another fort down. So all of the forts will be destroyed soon for the MC Academy. And they haven't taken a single one. They haven't damaged a single fort on the other side. They try to go for Leo again. He successfully activates his trait. As with Sanctification, they're pushing the fight way past the fort in an attempt to get another kill. And thanks to the jet propulsion, they do. Nice. That was an easy follow-up here on Jojo, so now that's her down for 30 seconds. Despite the fact that they have their level 16 at this point, it will give the blue team a lead in the middle as they are pushing the entire gate down. And on top of that, they have Blaze at the top, so for the next objective, they will also have an advantage on the points. Yeah, great for them. 28,000 damage for Chromie, so even with her, they have trouble dealing with Sergeant Hammer. But, yep. That is a problem for the top keep now. I don't think there's a way that they're contesting this. I mean, Jojo is now back, but they would have to move towards the top, and with 20 stacks towards the Punisher, there's no way you're taking that fight. It's just not happening. But either way, Tyr is the only one that has fallen so far. Hammer is at this point at 157,000 siege damage. And there's the Arcane Punisher. So, top side, that's going to be the big play. Leo with one mace to the face after another here. And Chromie is just not able to get the connect. She's obviously aiming for Hammer in those team fights, but with 28,000, she hasn't really done as much as they expected her to. That mount is so ugly, by the way. That mount is so dumb. The bait over the wall, they already had the side lane opened up to follow up on a Punisher jump, but in this case it didn't really work out that way. That's a keep. They're gonna get this one 100%. I don't think that Oxygen Esports is gonna push for more than that, but yeah. Well, maybe they're not getting it. I expected them to go a lot more aggressive with the rest of the damage dealers, so no, they're falling back. If they would have committed, they could have, but they are still sieging up slightly. Blessed Shield is out. They need the follow-up, and Anduin ruining the day again. They're taking it slow, but they're taking it. The keep is gonna fall, especially now the cooldown's gone. They can move in for it. Hazu, on the other hand, has 2 ice block. They try to go for Leo, so it's a kill for a kill, and they get a double as Tigers gets also dropped. So they get 2 kills. Sanctification as they're aiming for number 3. Brightwing trying to save the day here, but that only results in the Fruit Fly falling. And they are closing in on level 20. I don't think they can end the game this time this quickly. I mean, they got still a window here, but I don't think that without Jaina and without a level 20, they're going to make that play. So 10 kills to 2, half a level until level 20 talents are ready for them. And they're looking solid. Okay, so... yeah, 58,000 damage for the Sergeant. 0 deaths on Nick, and of course, full camp control now in the middle. Level 20 is going to help them too. Next objective is spawning at the bottom of the map. Over here, one of the towers is already down. They did some damage. They opened even the side lane up, so they can, with the Punisher, then follow up on that too. Tyrael, look at this 20. Yeah, not going into an holy arena or anything. Instead, we're having him with the seal of Eldruin now. A bit of an attack speed. The Ultra Capacitors. Yeah, now it's siege time. Sergeant Hammer is just going to siege up here. Easy peasy. And they can slowly but steadily take the hit points down on the next keep. Could move down to the bottom of the map if they wanted to. Tyrael has 31 stacks towards his level 1. And here we go. Nick is still fine. They even have to pop Odin to push it back. And Camo Bear is dead. Oh boy. Double kill against them. As long as they can keep Nick alive, they might even be able to go for the core now. Especially once that Odin is gone. Odin is going to get dropped in just a few moments. This is not looking good. They're even going for the kill here. I was just expecting them to wait until he expires, but they're going for a full 5-man wipe. Leo is the only survivor, not for long either. Benny is already high on his heels. So that's 15 kills to 2 and victory. 15 minutes into the game. Nicely done. That's a lock. We got a 2-0 victory for Oxygen Esports in this best of 2 series at the 3rd playday of the Master Slash. GG.